Metallica, 1983, Seek and Destroy. And the title is Love 'em All and Let God Sort 'em Out, because that's my new motto. It used to be Kill 'em All and Let God Sort 'em Out. This is off the Kill 'em All album from 1983, and that is the year that my first husband tried to kill me, and I was kind of pissed off, so Kill 'em All kind of fit. Okay, so we're scanning the scene in the city tonight. We're looking for you to start up a fight. There's an evil feeling in our brains, but it's nothing new. You know it drives us insane. Running on our way, hiding, you will pay, dying 1,000 deaths. Running on our way, hiding, you will pay, dying 1,000 deaths. Come on now. Searching, seek and destroy. Searching, seek and destroy. I see ya. There is no escape, and that's for sure. This is the end. We won't take any more. Say goodbye to the world you live in. You've always been taking, and now you're giving. And it goes on with, the hunted shall be the hunters, is the energy I'm getting. Our brains are on fire with the feeling to kill, and it won't go away until our dreams are fulfilled. There is only one thing on our minds. Don't try running away, 'cause you're the one we will find. Searching, seek, and destroy. So, this isn't a bad energy. It's not an evil energy. It's just an energy of enough is enough. Enough is enough, confirmation. You get to a point where after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of being screwed over by evil, you finally, and even being evil yourself, because it just turns you. You get to the point where we all just said we're coming back and we're going to end this. And we're not going to end it like fight fire with fire, but yet we are. That's another song by Metallica you might want to look up. I love it. It's called Trapped Under Ice by Metallica. But I love all Metallica songs. I told you I seen him in a small little bar in 83 and 84 in Carlton West in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Little bar, and I stood in the speakers, honest to God. But anyways, I love Metallica. Armored Saint and Wasp opened up for him. But so it's not it's not an evil energy at all. It's just an energy of enough is enough. We are so tired. We are so being awoken to this warrior consciousness, and we're just getting to the point where we just want it all to end. So I say love them all, let God sort it out. I don't return curses. I just give everything to God these days. There were days when I was putting curses on people, different lifetime, not this lifetime. Well, I can't say that either, because in my drunken days from 1 to 30, I was no saint. So, you put curses on people, you mess around with magic. I think there's a song that says you mess around with magic and you'll find out. It's just, to me, it's kids play. In this life, it's just kids play. Even back when I was 1 through 30, I would tell everyone, I'm from Neptune and this is just really a joke. I'm just staying drunk, and having fun. Yeah, it's just we've had enough. We've had enough energy. We just want to seek and destroy. There's no more running. The hunters shall be the hunted shall be the hunters. And it's just enough is enough. I just can't say that enough. I probably should have named it the title Enough is Enough. So I don't want anybody thinking this is evil energy, because it's not. It's just an energy of we finally want to end this shit, and we are the warriors. We have conquered lifetime after lifetime of dealing with the evil, and we've trying to, some of us still have to work on it, balance out our good and our evil in within ourselves. So we also want to seek and destroy the parts of us that don't need to be there. Now I'm going to give you a couple examples, because I think some of you are confused. Like, for example, you don't want to carry revenge, anger, bitterness, because that's the part of you that's evil that you have to get into balance. Okay? You want to take those feelings and turn them into kind of like what Jesus did when he was on the cross, and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And kind of look at the world like they're clones, they're soulless idiots, they're NPCs, they're robots, they're people that sold their soul for power and fame and money. And we know who these people are. They come in over and over again. They get taken out and they just reboot them. So we know what we're dealing with. So it's kind of like, that's why it's easy for me to just give everything to God and say, I'm just going to love them all and let God sort it out. Meaning, I'm not going to carry those feelings inside me. Anger, revenge, bitterness, hate. I don't have any of them feelings. Okay? Does that mean that we don't seek and destroy? No. See, seek and destroy does not mean that you hate and that you're bitter and that you're angry. Seek and destroy is living in the solution. We need the clones gone. We need the soulless fucks in Gitmo. We need, the evil to go. So seek and destroy is just the solution to us not falling again and having to come back and do this again. I've already seen the outcome, so I already know we won. And when you already know you've won, it's a lot easier to watch the movie. I refer it to if you were watching a football game and you taped it, and then somebody came over later and you guys watched it. It'd be a lot easier to watch the game on TV with somebody because you already know that your team won. So you can sit there and have a lot of fun and not get resentful and bitter and angry because you already know that you won. That's what this movie is. So we are seeking and destroying. We did a lot of that last night in Astro. Now that you're in your physical avatar, do you see what's going on? We got a lot of shit going on. 40,000 people had to evacuate from Orange County, Garden Grove. My mission partner grew up in that area. I think he even went to school there. But Garden Grove, California has a chemical spill going on. And like I said, so who would have predicted that you would have to evacuate because of a chemical spill? And it's like 40K. Unbelievable. Then you have all kinds of stuff happening. Volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes. What about the situation in Iran going on, right? I mean, it's just every hour. That's why it's so important to stay in the hour. So seek and destroy. I don't want to get too much into that, except for we are going to go over the cards. But what the cards, I did shuffle and the same cards came out. I'm like, did I shuffle this deck? And I did. I know I did. I shuffled all three of those decks. We got the Wheel of Fortune. That's new. And that's what's going on right now. The wheel is turning. We got Samuel the prophet. I think we had him last week. And it reminded me of, it's like seek and destroy energy reminds me of what would you do if there were a bunch of children causing havoc in your area? You would seek and destroy the situation. You wouldn't actually take the kids and hurt them, but you would make sure that they didn't do that shit again, right? Okay, well, that's again the energy. It's not like we're going to take the kids and kill them. It's just that we want to seek and destroy the situations. So, back to the chemical plant spill, I just don't know, They don't have an answer. They say it's either going to explode or it's going to leak. So 40,000 people had to be evacuated. That's going on right now. That's probably an hour away from me. So I'm probably pretty safe here. Okay, so let's go in the other room. Okay, we had Samuel the prophet. You want to look up First Samuel and check out if you don't know who Samuel is. It's also the Six of Cups or the Page of Cups. I believe it's the Page of Cups. So we are talking about love, and that's why the title is Love Them All and Let God Sort It Out, because we don't want to be in any kind of a mode that we might have been in 83. I know in 83, I wasn't thinking about love. I was definitely thinking about hate and revenge and bitterness. So you can take it either way you want it, but it's best to have that duality balanced. Then we had the Magician card, the Queen of Wands, and them two cards and the five of we'll go in there and look. It's the one where his hair is being sucked up from the higher power. So you must listen to your higher power. And I was drawn to the dog in the picture because there's so much going on right now with the shelters and with the overpopulation of animals. And I asked why. And Astro said the reason why, it's not like it hasn't been going on, but what happened was the people that were using the animals the wrong way are no longer as fluent as they used to be. So there's being an overpopulation of animals now. If you can understand that, I want to tell it to you nicely so we don't get in any kind of trouble talking like that. But it's the truth. There was a lot of animal sacrifices going on, and now there's not as many, put it that way, because a lot of these people are being rounded up and taken out. That's that seek and destroy energy. And the animals are living. The animals need somewhere to go. There's also been a lot of arrests where these people have had many animals in their house, in their vicinity, right? And so the shelters get like hundreds of dogs at one time, or whichever animal they are, and it's just overwhelming. So I wanted to know why there was such an increase in this, and that's why. Because the people that were seeking destroying our animals are being seeked out and destroyed. Okay, so that's a lot of heavy stuff that's going on between the catastrophes, the natural catastrophes, the not natural catastrophes, between everything going around. That's that extreme intense energy that I told you about. Now, I've just talked 15 minutes on this and I haven't even touched anything. I mean, it's like I didn't even tell you anything. But 15 minutes is gone. You know, I don't know where time goes. So we're going to go ahead and do some cards, but just the best thing you can do is stay in the love mentality. Don't get unbalanced. Still have your demon side, so in case you do have to use it, right? Be balanced out. Okay, so we're going to go in the other room and let's just see what we got for the cards. All right, so yeah, we had a few from St. Michael that we'll go over. We had a few from St. Michael. We had, let's see. Take your time making this decision. Believe and trust. Believe and trust. Take your time making the decision. And what I'm getting from this is we don't know what's going to come down your pipe. Okay, you might be living in Garden Grove right now and you might have to evacuate. Okay, so if you had to evacuate the day before, if I would have told you you're going to have to evacuate, you'd look at me and say, "You're crazy. I'm in Garden Grove, California, and everything is fine," right? Okay, well, so what happened? In a second, a chemical might be spilling from this big tank, right? Okay, so believe and trust and take your time in whatever decision that you have to make from that. Okay, do I want to go here? Do I want to go there? What do I want to take? And if something does happen, like a tornado or a fire takes out your house, just stay in the gratitude of, I'm okay, my pet's okay. Sometimes your pet might not be okay. There's a lot of animals transitioning right now. There's a lot of people transitioning right now. And that's so important to know. I've got people all the time telling me how their animals are passing on. Well, that's because we're shifting. Okay? Now, this card from St. Michael said that your home is protected by angels. So to me, it's telling me that the viewers that I have on my station here are protected. So you probably don't live in Garden Grove. You probably haven't been affected by anything because you're being protected. Your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Those were the other two cards that came out from St. Michael. And that was the Page of Cups that I was talking about, the Queen of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. So stay creative, stay listening to your higher self, stay talking to your guides, because everything is turning. But I'm drawn to her standing on top with, it looks like 1 foot, and she's going like this, and it's like, I got this, and I know that we already won. Okay, and we got the Magician and the Page of Cups. So we had the Page of Cups twice. Both of these are the Page of Cups. So very important energy, Page of Cups. And I think we're going to go ahead and read about the Page of Cups because they want me to look this up. Okay, so we're going to do something a little different here. And we're going to read about the Page of Cups since we got two of them. Now, Samuel is 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 10. Page of Cups, number 13 is it? Nope, I said 13, but it's 11. 11 on the card. Okay, let's look up Page of Cups. Just because they told me to. Okay. It says, as a dreamer of my dream, I spontaneously and passionately ignite the future. So you're in charge, okay? You don't have to be thinking like a child, is what I'm hearing. You can act like a child, think like a child, but they're saying that thinking, actions are different. Okay, explosive creativity. Now I'm on page of wands, so I read the wrong one, and that wasn't by mistake. So whatever I just said was a Floridian slip, but they want you to hear that. Okay, so weird things can come out of this. Okay, let's find the Page of Cups. I don't usually read out of the book, but we're going to. The world is my flourishing oyster, and I am excited to see what happens next. A dreamer, again, so that's why the Page of Wands came out. It's connected to the Page of Wands energy. To be a dreamer, to be creative, that's the Queen of Wands energy, because we don't know what's going to happen next, but we know we win. It's like, again, watching that football game. We don't know if he's going to get a touchdown or a fumble, but we know that we won in the end, okay? Now, if you've already seen the movie, you're part of making this movie. It's pretty cool because you kind of already know. Let's see. New unexpected trajectories, magic. Okay, and then we also had the Magician card again, right? So having that Magician card and the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands with that Page of Wands. So do you see how that all threads together perfectly? 22:02 on the clock. Okay, let's go ahead and read this. It says, there is magic here, like the first breath of love or the very first kiss. I'm not going to read all this because that's the energy I want you to stay with. I want you to stay with the energy of your first love, because it's really important, because I said that's what we're trying to bring back into physical avatar for the end of this movie. And if they won't come back, then we want our first soulmates, our first mission partners, whatever, way back in the beginning, the very first kiss, the very first love. We want that energy back here, because it's a lot funner to finish the end of the movie with the persons with an S that we started with. Some of you, it's been 2 lives. Some of you, it's been 33. Some of you, it's been 68. It doesn't matter how many lives you've went through. You all have a first love. You all have that first kiss. You all have that beginning, Adam and Eve type energy, right? And that's what we want to get back to, because that's really what we want to finish the movie with. In our soul contract class, that's what we're writing. Not positive what we're going to get, but just be open to it. That's why I think the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups came out so much. And the Magician and the Queen of Wands, those cards are all coming out so much, because St. Michael's just saying, you know, you have to believe and trust. You've already won. You've already seen this movie. Take your time. Take your time doing this. We already won. Okay, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. I do see, as the final outcome here, the Ace of Cups, the Strength card, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, which is really important with the Knight of Cups. Okay, the Knight of Cups, that's my music man. It's young David, and that's also 1 Samuel. That's why I said to read the whole chapter. This is 16:23. That's young David playing his harp. But look at these cards. What did I just say? I said, you're going to have the strength to do this because you want to get your Ace of Cups. You want to go for your Nine of Pentacles, and you're not settling for anything less. And this is my favorite Hierophant because he's laughing. And that's the Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, another great song, right? So you got the laughing Hierophant. Do you remember laughter? Does anyone remember laughter? And David said that's the song he's playing on the harp. Number 12 card. We went from an 11 to a 12. So we've got Samuel and David. One's got the Page of Cups. He's got the cups. What did we get? Ace of Cups. So you see how this all ties together? The Nine of Pentacles with the Strength card going towards your abundance, the Nine of Pentacles. And there he is. I just love that card. Okay, that was a super reading. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.